Hi guys, welcome back to Harry Makes Up. Today I wanted to create another look that's partly one of my icon inspired looks and a little bit of kind of a summer everyday bronzy look that I think is really nice for evening or day, and it's using the new Urban Decay heat palette as well, so I thought this would be a good way for you guys to see that palette on my eyes as well. Today I wanted to do, the look is mostly inspired by Raquel Welch from the 1 Million Years BC film, which is a really beautiful, I think it's 50s or 60s, I think it might be 60s. So it's a super iconic image, an image within beauty, and I think it's a really fun one. It's very much a bronzy look. The skin is very bronzed, very sun-kissed. I've given it a slight bit of an update with kind of some more modern textures on the skin. So let's get into the look. So first thing I'm doing is priming my skin, and I'm loving the Elemis Pro Radiance Illuminating Flash Balm at the minute. This is such a nice primer. It's kind of a hybrid between a moisturiser and a primer. So I'm starting with that just to give my skin a little bit of vitality, a little bit of oomph, and it's a nice one to kind of start before makeup. For base today, I've actually gone for Les Beige Chanel, the Healthy Glow Foundation, which I'm not sure if I've actually used in a video before, but I really love this foundation. It's like skin with that little bit more coverage, very, very nice, fresh, modern texture, a little bit dewy, and it has SPF 25, so nice for daytime, and that's what I'm putting on, just with a buffering brush, just to kind of blend it in, smooth it over the skin for a nice unified skin finish. So I thought this video was a great chance for me to review and tell you guys my thoughts on the Urban Decay Heat Palette. This has had a lot of hype recently. I think as far as the shades go, they're definitely shades I like to wear. I feel like for me, the Naked palette #1 and this one are probably my two favourites. It's consistent with the same blending that all the other Urban Decay Naked palettes have. They blend really nicely. The matte shades and the shimmers are both equally as pigmented. I feel like they come out how they look in the pan. So generally it's a thumbs up for me. The only thing I feel is they're kind of colours that I feel like warm colours are everywhere now, so you don't necessarily have to get this palette to get your hands on great warm tones, but nonetheless it's a really, really lovely palette. So I basically started the eye just with a wash of colour first all over using Low Blow, which is a really nice kind of mushroom taupe, a little bit warm though, as it's the heat palette, and I just put that all over the lid. I found that was nice to have a base colour and then just blended it up towards the socket, so actually a little bit further than what I would do just to the crease, actually a little bit further outwards, a really nice soft haze. So then I went in with Ember, which is a really nice shimmery reddy brown. You guys know that colour is my jam. I will always be addicted to these colours and want every type of makeup available in that colour, especially where eyes are concerned. So using Ember, I just applied this to the top lash line and underneath my bottom lash line and just started to wing it out a little bit. Now don't worry as well if when you're doing this you feel like it starts to look a bit messy. That's why I do my concealer after eyeshadow. I feel like it gives you enough chance to kind of reshape the eye even if they don't match or you feel like you need to kind of extend the shape. You can cheat that with concealer afterwards as your next step. So once I've got Ember all the way around the lash line, the top and bottom, I actually went in with my Tom Ford eye pen and I just did the thinnest little black line and not even all the way across, just kind of into the lash roots on the outer third of the eye, sort of to halfway, and just added that little bit of really, really subtle definition. And then going back to the Urban Decay Naked palette, I took Ashes, which is this beautiful kind of Bordeaux-y, really, really deep browny black tone, and I just went over that line I did with the Tom Ford pen to really soften it. So just going over with a little definer brush or pencil brush and just kind of smudging that in and sort of pushing it and smudging it as you go along. By all means you can use a pencil if you want to do something like a pencil kohl instead of a liquid liner, that works just as well. And I find Ashes just gave it that little bit more of a smoky lash line, which is really nice in a very, very subtle way. And what I will say with this eyeshadow palette that I definitely noticed is there was no fall down at all, which was very, very impressive. So that's really nice to know as well. This palette is going to be very foolproof if you do want to do your base first and then do your eyeshadow. You don't have to worry about any fall down. So next I'm going with Cayenne and I'm just using that through the socket for a really nice soft subtle haze. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit warmer, and I think it just adds a little bit more of a red tone to the look as well, which is really, really pretty in a very, very wearable way. So after curling my lashes, I went to mascara, and this is one that I think gives some serious impact, which I think you need with a kind of ready toned warm eye, just to offset the tone. You need that black on the lashes. So I went with Tarte Gifted. This is the Amazonian Clay Smart Mascara. This has a really lovely bristled wand, and I find this catches every lash. It adds volume, it adds length, and it gives a really nice intense black lash, which I think really offsets the eyeshadow look. So then I went into the waterline with an oldie but a goodie. It's something that I kind of forgot I had in my own makeup bag, and when I found it I was like, yes, I hope they still make this. If they don't, you could use any nude kohl, but I'm using in the waterline the Victoria Beckham, the dual-ended kajal, and I'm using the pale end, which is a bit of kind of like a peachy, salmony tone, which is really lovely inside the waterline of the eye. You can totally add a black kohl in the waterline, or a smoky brown would be lovely if you want to take it more intense. So the nude tone kohl just helps it really pop the eye, makes the eye look really big and wide awake, and it's nice if you want to wear this as more a daytime look, more kind of played down with a nice big eye. So then I just applied a little bit of concealer under my eyes and around any areas of redness, or I needed any extra coverage. For me, I can do that all with the Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer by Sephora. Absolutely love this stuff. It's available in 26 shades, which is incredible. So there is a skin tone for everyone, a really vast, great selection of shades. Really recommend it. And I feel like if I had to compare this, I almost feel it's a bit like the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer with a little bit more extra slip. So I feel like if you suffer from dryness and found the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer caked on you, definitely give this a go. I think you might like this. It's a really, really lovely formulation. So I'm just applying that under the eyes, around the nose, and just blending with my fingers. And I'm using my finger to kind of lift and sculpt, and it just helps me pull the eyeshadow out, correct any mistakes, and just make it look a little bit more unified. So then I'm just going to do a little bit of setting just in the areas I want to, using a very small eyeshadow brush because I want very precise powdering. So I'm just taking it a little bit under my eyes, on my chin, around my nose, just kind of areas mostly down the center to get rid of shine. And I'm using the MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Powder, which is a pressed one, and it's kind of like an invisible powder, so it's very skin friendly on every skin tone. Really good powder on the go, especially as you're changing, if you're getting kind of warmer as it turns to summer. So that's a really good one. Now, to recreate that beautiful kind of ethereal bronzy glow that Raquel Welch had in the films and all those really iconic beauty posters, I'm using a new discovery that I'm really loving, and this is by a brand called Make. This is their Dew Pot in Bronze 1. It comes in 2 different shades of bronze, and it is a really lovely dewy cream bronzer, which is just beautiful on the skin. It's fragrance free, I believe paraben free. Again, I'll put links to everything down below. And this, I'm just kind of smushing it on with my finger. I find this is the best way to apply it, as the product is quite stiff. It also works quite well with kind of like a densely bristled brush, so I do use it like that sometimes when I've used this in my kit. But this just gives the most lovely glow. I feel like you don't need any highlighter, you don't need too much blush. It's just a really fresh, easy to build bronze that's, again, very fail safe, very easy to use. Then stop it looking too one-dimensional. I've gone in with the Milk Makeup. This is the Lip and Cheek Stick in Perp, which is a really lovely kind of coral tone, which I think looks lovely with the bronzy skin. So just using like a little roll on one side and a roll on the other side, it's almost like a stamp. You can just kind of like go dot, dot, and then just blend with your finger into the bronzer. And I find, like I said, it just stops it looking too flat, gives it a bit more dimension, and you just get a little bit of very soft, subtle, also dewy colour back into the cheeks. So for lips, I went with a kind of darker nude than what I would do normally. I've gone for Colourpop Lippy Pencil, and this is in the shade Beeper, which is almost like quite a 90s nude, but I actually found it worked really well with this look. And rather than kind of draw this all the way around, because it's very, very pigmented, I just used it to add a little bit of definition to my top lip and my bottom lip, and just kind of blended that with my finger, so it's softened, but still giving a little bit of a larger lip outline. Then to create the lip and just finish the look off, I wanted something that was kind of like a satin finish, so not too creamy, not too shiny, but a nice kind of long wearing lipstick. And I went for this one by MAC. It's the Lip Tensity Lipstick in Dough, which is a really pretty, again, almost a little bit of a 90s nude, really, really nice colour. And I just use that, just kind of blotting it along the lips and then just kind of smushing it in with my finger. Again, so everything looked a little bit more subtle, a little bit softer, not to kind of fight with the eye. And I think this gives it a really nice overall modern look. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, pop them down in the comments below. All the links will be in the description box, and I would love it if you subscribe, and I'll see you soon for videos. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.